Most leaders I know want more creativity, they want more innovation, they want more engagement. But they focus on the output, the result, when really where that change happens is when we focus on the conditions. I'm Audlin, and in my graduate studies at Buffalo State University in creativity and change leadership, I've been exploring, studying what it takes to make creativity thrive inside of organizations, inside of teams, and maybe even inside your family unit. Today I want to share with you 3 insights from my most recent class that have reshaped the way I think about organizational leadership and creative culture. So let's start with insight number 1. Climate creates performance. Think of your organization, or even your family, as a tree. The leaves are the people. The branches are the organizational structure, the hierarchy. And then down here, below the surface, you can't really see them, the roots, those are the values, the beliefs, the assumptions that hold the whole thing in place. And then there's the climate. The climate is the attitude, the behaviors, the feelings that allow that tree to thrive and grow. So here's my aha moment. You can have good people in a bad climate and they're not going to perform well. They're not going to grow. If you find that the leaves are not healthy or your people are not performing well, it might be that as a leader, the problem is not the person, the problem is the climate that that person is in. If this tree is receiving light and sunshine and water and nourishment, it's going to be a healthy tree. And if it is in an icy, cold, toxic environment, then it's not going to grow, it's not going to thrive. And it has nothing to do with the quality of those leaves. The leaves are simply a signal that something is off. And when your people are not performing well, oftentimes it is a signal that something is off in the greater climate. As leaders, our role is not to fix people. Sometimes our role is to simply create the conditions and the climate where our people can thrive. Insight number 2 from my studies this month: before creativity, there needs to be clarity. This insight is particularly important in times of uncertainty. Sometimes when there's uncertainty, we want to rush in to find a solution to implement. At least I do. What I've learned is that the greater the uncertainty, the more important it is to take the time to clarify what is the context in which we are solving this problem. Creativity doesn't begin with answers. It begins with understanding. The thing that I learned that's really important in this model is don't make decisions too early. When there's still a lot of uncertainty, this is a time to take baby steps. Insight number 3. Innovation is a process. It's not a one and done. A lot of times we like to think that there's going to be this big Shazam moment where suddenly some transformational idea is brought to life, and maybe that happens every now and then, but more often than not, innovation is a process. It is an iterative process, and there's a flow to it. It begins with understanding context and learning the landscape. It's important to take the time to understand the context of the problem we're trying to solve, to learn the landscape. From there, we can uncover needs, we can listen to feedback, and once we've done that thoroughly, now we can expand and explore possibilities. We can develop new options. Once we have those options, we can experiment little by little, and from there, drive the outcomes that we want. And then from those outcomes, we do it all again and again and again and again. Most of us have parts of the process that we're really good at and we really enjoy. Like for me, I love exploring possibilities. And then maybe there are also parts of this process that we tend to avoid. And that's why it's so great to be able to surround ourselves with a really diverse team that can pick up the slack where maybe it's not our strength. It's also important to recognize what your preferences are so that you can intentionally, consciously move yourself through the entire cycle and not just get stuck in that part that you like the best. At every stage of the process, we are celebrating wins, little by little, iteration by iteration. Because you know what? Those small wins, when you look back in retrospect, that's when we realize that actually we've created a pretty big change, one small win at a time. So what parts of the process are your strengths? What are the areas where you really love to dive in? And how might you create a team, a climate, a culture where you're working together to stay in motion as you move through this flow, this creative flow of making positive changes? May you create the conditions where creativity and possibility and new ideas can take root, can grow and flourish. Happy creating.